Thanks for your time, Mr. Lucas. Welcome to the programme. You perhaps heard Philip there laying out some of the options that appear to be out there regarding the Kurds. What do you think is likely to happen? And of course, bearing in mind, as Philip said, so often the Kurds feel they've been used, if you like, and then let down. What do you think might be their involvement?
Where we are right now, from what we know, primarily from leaks from officials, is that there have been discussions between the Trump camp and leaders in Iraqi Kurdistan. That includes conversations between Donald Trump and those leaders. And we are being told that, yes, as Philip has talked about, these Iranian Kurdish Peshmerga fighters have been trained by US forces, likely to be CIA, for a possible incursion into Western Iran. There is no final date that has been agreed on an incursion yet. So I think the timing of this is going to depend on how developments go. But I think the wider framework here is that the Trump administration is suffering because it does not have a plan B. Plan A, alongside the Israelis, was to go in and to force the regime to surrender, to capitulate, to give up its nuclear programs, to give up its ballistic missile programs. As you have been discussing, the regime has not capitulated despite the killing of the supreme leader, and indeed has been carrying out this retaliation across the region and beyond. So what is your plan B? Well, more bombing. That doesn't seem to be having an effect. Putting American boots on the ground inside Iran, very tricky for the Trump folks, given the experience of Iraq 2003 and Trump's own promise not to carry out foreign interventions. So you try to use someone else. You try to use the Kurdish fighters. The problem with this is that even if you think that the Kurds could maintain a foothold in their part of Iran, and the regime will unleash their military, they will unleash all of them to try to prevent that happening. Even if the Kurds succeeded there, the regime is still in place in Tehran. And as we saw in Iraq in 1991, the US encouraged the Kurds to rise up there. Saddam Hussein's forces cut them down. In 2003, yes, you did get in Iraqi Kurdistan, but that was in the wider context of insurgency and deadly civil war in Iraq. So it is a risky option for the Americans, and I think it smacks more of a little bit of desperation rather than of considered planning.
So do you think the Kurds will not cooperate?
Well, I think, look, it depends, if the Iranian Kurdish Peshmerga think, look, we've been wanting to fight Iran for years, we've been wanting to liberate our territory, they'll probably take support to go across the border. But where are you with political leaders? Do Iranian Kurdish political leaders think this is the way to go forward because it's extremely risky? What about the Iraqi Kurdish leaders? And as I speak to you, the Iraqi Kurdish leaders are saying we do not want our region to be used as a launching pad for these operations. Though I think it's far more complex than simply some fighters who want to have a go at Tehran and saying, well, that's it, the operation can proceed. I think there's a lot of politics that would have to be navigated.
Hi, I'm Scott Lucas. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe, spread the word, send ideas.